part of my practice is a demographic of guys who are like 25 and 35. And I think in that population, so many of them feel like they're not understood. They want to have a relationship, they talk to women, and what they see on social media or hear from other rhetoric, other websites, other TV shows, is not what the woman presented to them or talking to them feels. In other words, the guys feel like there's a disconnect when they're looking for their special person, or they want to find a partner who they can share their life with. They feel like what women say a lot of times is not what they're seeing or what they bring to the table when they're dating them. Most of the time, I think when I'm talking to these guys that this is maybe just a small group of men, but they're extremely vulnerable and they're open with what their needs are, what their worries are. But when I ask them, for example, when they're dating or they're with someone, is this what they talk to or talk about? They're like, no, we don't usually mention this. Like, this is never brought up in discussion. And I think this goes back to guys feeling like they don't want to complain, they don't want to, make a big deal out of things. They want to minimize needs so that they can enjoy the relationship. The tough talks aren't usually discussed. So what I did was I asked these guys for topics that they think are really important to them, that if they had the guts, they would bring them up. And I thought it might be really healthy if I were to start it here. And I'll just talk about the tough topics that at least the demographic, the amount of guys I see in my practice have talked about, that you can bring it up in your relationship. You can talk about it. Because some of these things otherwise are just swept under the rug, and it goes into maybe guys feeling like they don't want to complain or they don't want to seem like they're sissy or whatever it is. I just think it's important to get it out there and to talk about it in your relationship. So the first of these things is that guys feel like when they're dating, the woman they're dating is oftentimes so influenced by other influencers on social media, coaches, people who have been through bad experiences and then give advice. Very rarely does a guy say that his girlfriend or his wife is actually talking to a real licensed therapist. They're getting their advice from people who basically are online giving advice, and they don't have any credentials at all. And guys say because of that, a lot of it is not relevant. You can't really build something deep and intimate with it. Now remember, you may disagree. The idea is not whether you agree or disagree. It's that you bring it up, that you talk about it, and you hear out both sides. The second thing they said is the extreme importance of being able to balance work, a relationship life. Guys feel like there is no balance in their life growing up. They are pushed to excel in sports, they're pushed to excel in academics, they're pushed in their jobs, status, get the most clients, get the biggest bucks. And then all of a sudden, when they're in a relationship that's healthy, their partner wants balance. They want them to balance their work with the relationship. They want to feel like a priority. And guys say there's a real disconnect for them. Like they don't know how to do that. And they rather than them ask for help or say, I don't know how to do this, basically what happens is they try to smash it. They try to basically push it down, suck it up, and do what they're doing, but they always carry that edge, that resentment, that I'm doing everything for you and you're not doing anything for me attitude that gets so many relationships in trouble. The next thing is that they feel like they want a true simple life. Guys say, I hear a lot on social media and Instagram how these women want a simple life. But they don't, when I date them, they're not really happy with a simple life. They want to keep up. They want certain things. Like when a woman gets with you, she's always looking for what she can do to make you better, make the situation better. And in that betterment, there's always a need to get more, to do more. And guys, some of the guys have said, when I say I want a simple life, I want a simple life. I want to create. I want to build something with this person. I would be happy just getting a little piece of land and then building something on it and finding a life partner who wanted that too, who really wasn't trying to keep up with somebody else or have the next best thing or need a certain design or label on their stuff. And you know, I am a woman and I can tell you those things are very seductive to women. And we do always think of improving them, or always, you know, when women get in a relationship, they're looking right away, how can I be a helpmate? How can I improve it? And that's really great. Guys, I think guys appreciate that. But there's also a pressure in that, because to keep up, you need to keep producing. You need to keep getting more. You need more money. And I think that's a part that puts a lot of pressure on relationships. And it especially makes guys feel bad because, like it or not, there is a lot of pressure on boys growing up to be the provider. And if you have that mentality, if you had that parenting, then when your partner wants more, you're going to put more pressure on yourself to help them get it. And that can build a lot of resentment, can build a lot of anger. If you push that in or you don't talk about it, you're eventually going to start treating your partner with more withdrawal, more, anger, little explosive comments, being terse, being irritable. That's how I usually see it come out in otherwise healthy relationships. I think the idea of for guys to be socially accepted means you're strong and you're quiet. You don't emote. You don't talk about your vulnerabilities. But yet when they're in a relationship, their partner feels like they're closing down or shutting off if they don't talk about their vulnerabilities. So guys say it is very hard to be vulnerable, but yet to appear strong and stoic to them, and like you can man up and you've got this. And they say that they didn't have a lot of mentoring for that. A lot of guys had mentoring to be the strong, silent type. But their dads never taught them how to be vulnerable, how to be open, how to show the weaker side, and their partners still be accepting of that. So that is a topic that is very important for you to talk about when you're dating, and really listen to each other. How can you support each other in that? And lastly, I think men struggle with feeling compared. Feeling compared to other men. Men will actually say, man, when I was your age, I was running this company, or I had my own company, or whatever. They're very susceptible to this because it's in the way they're raised from birth to be that provider, to be that one. Status and meaning is everything for men. Finding purpose is extremely important. And if they don't have the socialization or other groups that they can lean on, other guys they can talk on, they begin to feel very isolated. So the partner becomes their main outlet. That's a lot of pressure to put on your partner, that you feel incompetent or you don't feel respected. And many of these partners will say, I don't understand it. I give him a lot of respect. He may be wanting from you what he's not able to feel or get from others. And that's why I think bringing up this topic and talking about it, finding other mentors, healthy mentors, that are going to support your relationship and yet give you what you need as far as feeling capable, supported, respectful for what you're doing, and getting away from comparing you to what other people are doing at this age or were doing at this time in their life is going to be really important. If this video is helpful for you, please subscribe. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you so much.